I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed, just like Miss Gina Grad. Yeah, that's the song we were trying to think of last week.
That's so
No, high
funny.
maintenance woman don't want no maintenance man.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That, I got to give the country music genre so much credit. They always come up with the most clever, ironic, like the only good years I ever had with her were the tires on my car. Fantastic.
Look, I mean, we're talking about a bunch of guys that sit around and they drink and they come up with double entendres. As soon as you got yourself a double entendre, you got yourself
hit.
A hit. Yeah. A good friend of mine grew up with Boyd Robert. He wrote a couple of hit country songs that he sold to other artists.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Got a lot of radio play. The guy made some pretty good money.
Oh, I love it. I do have an affinity for the genre that I didn't when I was younger. I wholly rejected it. And now I get it.
No, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I've always loved Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton and, Woody Guthrie and Conway Twitty. But then I thought, oh, this is lame. But some of it's great.
Well, everybody wanted to go, oh, country and western. It's like, come on, it's good stuff. I mean, what Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and David Allan Coe and Hank Jr. were doing back in the 70s. You can't top it.
No. Well, who does and again, just the political statements like Okie from Muskogee. Like, we don't wear our sandals down on Main Street. This is great. It's great.
Oh, there's a song.
White lightning still the biggest thrill of all.
Yeah, you know the words.
Oh, I love that song.
Hank Jr. did one where he talks about, I can't remember the song, but he talks, Witchamajigga went out to California and such is saving trees and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Christopherson, which is
who I've seen in concert. Oh, yeah.
Left-wing country guy out there.
Yep.
Chris is now doing that thing, out in Hollywood, and this guy's doing this and that guy's doing that. It was just a very interesting group of people. And by the way, here's the crazy part, Gina. Go on to not right now, but whenever you get a chance, go on to your Spotify or whatever you listen to. I do Pandora.
Okay.
Don't write to me. I do Pandora.
I know. God love you.
I don't care. And put in a country, an old, from the 70s. Put in the Outlaws. Listen to Waylon Jennings, the stuff they're talking about politically, same shit we're talking about today.
It's crazy.
Nothing has changed, period.
You'd think it would sound so dated.
You would think, but you can swear those songs were written for yesterday.
Wow.
Literally. And when people go, oh, all this stuff is happening right now, I was like, no. Go back and listen. And don't just listen to the country stuff. Go back and listen to the hippie stuff.
Oh, my God, of course.
What was happening at Kent State University, what was happening with the Watts riots and all of it. And by the way, the Buffalo Springfield walks into a studio during the riots and lays down, stop children, what's that sound? Everybody is going.
Yeah.
All of that shit. And people think, oh, wait, this started last week?
No.
Go listen to the hippie shit and go listen to country from the mid 1970s. And I'll tell you another one to listen to. Go listen to Leonard Skinner. Now, here's the weird thing. I'm going to blow your mind, Gina. I'm about to
I can't wait.
blow your mind. You go to a Leonard Skinner concert, the backdrop of the thing was the Confederate flag.
Of course it was. That was like their thing.
Yeah, the Confederate flag didn't mean what it means today. By the way, Ronnie Van Zant, very liberal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, just a liberal hippie type.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I love hearing anything that surprises me, like when Tom Morello, like famous, activist, advocate, lefty rocker, is like really good friends with the Motor City Madman. Just because
Yeah.
it's music and they're friends. You're
Because
loud.
there was a time when everybody just, it was like, you believe this, I believe that. We didn't go around hating everyone for believing everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the song, I hope Neil Young will remember, a man don't need him around anyhow. Sweet Home Alabama. All right. Do you know why those lyrics came about?
Nope.
Because Neil Young wrote a song called Southern Man. I saw
That's
cotton,
right.
I saw black, stone white mansions and little shacks.
Right.
And then this song comes out on that, where they go, in Birmingham, they love the governor. And then they say boo, 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 meaning we don't like the governor. In
Right.
Birmingham, they love the governor. We don't like him, but we also don't like Neil Young spewing this. Guess what? Ronnie Van Zant and Neil Young, good friends.
You are blowing my mind. Wow.
Yeah. So there was a time when you can do that.
This sounds like the original East Coast, West Coast hip hop rap battles when you write about them in the song.
Yeah, but I think they started killing each other. I'm not really
Oh,
sure what
it's a little
happened
different.
there.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
different.
nobody went around killing anybody until, they got on the plane.
I
And,
see.
yeah.
Oh, wow, well said.
They were heading down to Baton Rouge that night, by the way.
Are we talking about
Leonard Skinner.
that's right.
Yeah, plane ran out of gas.
It's the one thing you
And,
think you could avoid.
well, you could have. A couple of weeks before that, the band, come on, the Italian, Talarico,
I
Stephen,
yes,
Aerosmith.
Steven Tyler.
Aerosmith, their manager, interviewed that same pilot, and the pilot showed up to the meeting drunk, and they went, "Okay, we're not going with that guy," and that's the guy who crashed and killed half of Leonard Skinner on the way to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Wow.
That's a fact.
You know too much. I've told you before.
I know way too much. Gina,
Yeah.
I want to play an ad for you.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see if we can do this. Now, you told me I can share my screen or something. How does that
Yeah,
work?
just go down that little green button and push share screen.
Okay, I'm going to hit share screen. And then, can you see something?
Not yet.
Can you see? Hang on. Can you see something now?
Not yet.
Wait, let me hit share. How about
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see all the things on Vinny's
that?
computer.
All right, can you see the thing?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to play a commercial because you're not going to believe this commercial. Now, you were probably not born
God
when
love
the
you.
commercial came out. I
What year?
don't think you were born. Probably
70s, 80s.
It probably came out late 70s, early. I think this came out in the 80s. And the reason I want you to see this ad is because this is a real ad. And they did a lot of ads like this. So here
Okay.
goes. All right. So, folks, by the way, if you want to see this, we're now showing my stuff on the Rumble. So go to the Rumble. Is that what it's called, Gina?
I think it's just Rumble.
Yeah, go there. And you'll be able to see this also. Here goes, Gina.
Okay.
This is the special K pin. So is this. If you can pinch more than an inch, you may need to watch your weight. Let's see it again. Try Kellogg's Special K breakfast. It's high in protein, high in taste, but low in calories. Try the Special K pin. If you can pinch more than an inch, try Kellogg's Special K breakfast. Details on every weight-watching packet.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that ad?
No.
Hmm.
And the first thing I will say, no matter how many, how, as the kids say today, problematic this ad is, the PR firm that put it together are geniuses.
Yeah.
They're telling you if you can pinch an inch of your skin, then run, do not walk to the cereal aisle and get Special K immediately. That's genius.
It is. And here's the deal. Back in the day, the bigger point is if you can pinch an inch,
An inch.
you were too fat.
Yep.
By the way,
That's
Gina,
what I'm saying.
You saw what they were grabbing on the man
Oh.
and woman?
Skin.
They would be considered the most athletic person on the planet today. Both of these people did not have an ounce of fat on them.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, which an inch ain't much, especially these days. And I thought those were the example of the people who didn't need to lose weight. But no, they were the people who needed to lose weight. So by God, get in that car and go get your Special K.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you can pinch an inch, you're too fat.
It rhymes. It's shaming. It's perfect.
Right. Now,
Wow.
do you think you can run that ad today?
Oh, please. Oh my God.
Can you
There would
imagine?
be a boycott so fast.
Yeah. You know, that every time I think about that ad, it's like pinch an inch. That was advertising. How old were you in 1980? Let's say that came out in 84. 82.
Oh, I was a toddler.
Can you look up, Gina, when the pinch an inch ad campaign came out?
Yeah.
I know it was in the 80s. I don't think it was the 70s. That's how far we've come in such a short period, that now we have people going, hey, my name is Lizzo and I'm healthy, right?
You are right. It was 1984.
Okay. I was just taking a stab at it. But
No.
1984, if you can pinch an inch, you
An
are
inch.
fat. That was 40 years ago from today.
An inch.
An inch. And folks,
We should be so lucky.
Go check this out on Rumble. You'll see these two people. You'll go, oh my God, I would give anything to look like these two people.
And they are literally pinching each other's non-existent
Area.
inner tubes.
Yeah, grabbing nothing.
Nothing.
Grabbing nothing. But you see, that's what we thought about fat 40 years ago, where a commercial was, this is too much fat. If you can pinch this, you're a pig. You're overweight. That's what they were saying.
Yeah. And a lot of different healthy diet options, because in the commercial, to get healthy, he's having black coffee with a spoonful of sugar, his orange juice, and his cereal. So he'll be just fine.
Yeah. They had them all sugared up. Special K. They showed them putting sugar in the coffee and drinking orange juice, which I'm glad you caught that, Gina.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah,
Wow.
that wasn't the only one. I just grabbed one of that ad campaign went on for a while.
Oh my God. And like we've talked about so many times, in the 80s movies were just quintessential, and maybe 70s too, I'm not sure. But for the fat friend or the fat guy. I mean, for God's sake, in the movie Teen Wolf, the guy's name is Chubbs. Yeah. And Chubbs is not that chubby by today's standards.
Oh, I've talked about my friend Phil on the show all the time. My best friend, in high school. He was the fattest guy in our school. He was about 6'1", probably went 215, 220. He was a fat guy.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying this to body shame anyone. I'm just letting you know where we were just a scant few years ago.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. Now, I was talking, I had Lori Fetrick on the show last Friday. She played Ice on the American Gladiators. And Laurie's my age, and we come from the same background of working out. We both worked out in Gold's Gym at the same time, type of thing. And, we were talking about just all of the stuff that was different back then that could never fly today.
Wait, sorry. Ice? Ice?
Ice Baby, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure it was the one I was thinking of. She's my favorite. She's the best one.
You should bring her onto your podcast.
Dude, yes, I love her. Oh my God.
If you want to have her on your show, talk to Gary. I'll introduce you.
I will. Sorry, go ahead. She was my favorite.
Yeah, Ice is, she's a wonderful woman, Lori. And we were having this, and she was talking, and we both saw this other thing. Now, I don't like this, but they have these people on the internet, these women's, mostly women. I've never seen a guy doing it. That's why I'm saying women, where they're morbidly obese, and they're just shoving food into their face, going this and that. And a woman, and Lori was talking about this woman who did this thing where she was, she would put one up in the corner, and the woman's in the corner. She goes, Dad. She did like 5 or 6 of them where they're going, I eat all this and I'm perfectly healthy. dead. And
Oh my God.
it was like 5 of them, of these
Yeah.
influencers.
It's a real genre called mukbang, and I think it's a Korean word, and it is just sort of that a
Oh,
binge
we've
eater.
done mukbang on the show. I've
Yeah, yeah.
mukbang some stuff on the show.
Oh, you?
Yeah, it was like Anna's food or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're familiar. So you're a YouTube mukbang influencer now.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone saw my mukbanging.
Mm,
But no, these are women who were just like, I'm fat, I'm proud, and I'm just
yeah.
gonna get fatter, and nobody's telling me I'm healthy. And it's very sad. They're very young girls, probably didn't see their 30th birthday
Oh
in most of
boy.
these cases. Can you imagine?
No, no.
It's very sad.
It's like a deal with the devil. It's just you're going to get your fame, you're going to get your 5 minutes, and somebody who's an authority is going to tell you you're fine,
Yeah.
and then you're done.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
sad.
And that's kind of the problem. People say, I'll say, the thing I always say about Lizzo, everyone goes, Lizzo is beautiful. Try telling one woman, oh my God, you're beautiful. You remind me of Lizzo, and see what she does.
Mm.
Right? Not the same when I'm saying you look like Lizzo, but you can call Lizzo beautiful, right? And she is a good-looking woman. I cannot lie.
And I gotta
she's
give
very
her
talented.
I gotta give her credit because the stamina she has on stage, I don't have.
Amazing. She's a very good musician. She's got a great voice. Everything about this woman is amazing. But to sit there
but
and
your
say
point is
that
taken.
I'm healthy, now I got a problem.
Yeah.
The other problem I have is when Adele decides to get healthy, she becomes the pariah.
Mm.
What crazy world do we live in where this goes on?
We're in very strange times. And I know that every generation can say that, but I think we can all agree that it's very strange. And we'll look back on it and they'll teach about it, in school.
Yeah, we're going to look back on this time and go, what were we thinking? I mean,
Yeah.
Look, we talk about the Rubenesque period where women were trying to get as heavy as they could because that was desirable back during that.
Right.
What years were the Rubenesque period?
It's funny. I didn't know they were supposed to be as heavy as possible. I've often described myself as Rubenesque just from, coming from Jewish shtetl peasant background.
No, the whole idea behind Rubenesque was to be, look, when I was a kid and I heard Rubenesque, I thought they sat around and ate Reuben sandwiches, but
I'll do that too.
Gina's looking at
That's the 19th century.
Okay. So not that long ago.
No.
200 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
And that was considered, that you had money. Just like
right, you could eat.
That you have money, you can eat. And the same with tans. If you had a tan,
that meant you had to spend your days outside, not being sheltered.
Well,
I'm glad you brought all this up. And, it's always a great reminder to eat well, eat right, move your body. And I know we don't have much time, but I do want to pay off this gadget I teased in the last show and just get your quick opinion on it. Because I do not know if you think this is a good idea or not. So there's this biotech company called Braun Bio, and they've developed what they've called health enhancing apparel, which is like a gadget, like hardwired into your clothing. And they use it with a patented stim machine. And you know what a stim machine is. Theirs stands for wearing electrical stimulation technology, but a stim machine. Most people have used it or seen it. So this is how it works. Apparently, I didn't know this. Humans produce subtle electric fields, and the stim leggings have conductive materials that use the energy produced while you're exercising, and that bodily movement during the workouts translates to electrical stimulation, which according to them rejuvenates your muscles and reduces fatigue and boosts performance. So while you're exercising in these stim pants, that's all supposed to be happening for you.
Okay. You happen to be, I just pulled them up. Okay. This is where I want everyone to really pay attention to what I'm going to say over the next 2 or 3 minutes, because this matters. Everything Gina just said, there's some truth to it.
Okay.
I have an eStim machine here at the house, right? And I've used it extensively over the years. Now, to put on muscle, no, it doesn't work, because in college, I did an experiment And it wasn't a very big experiment, but we took two untrained athletes and measured the circumference of their bicep when they were flexed. And one of them, we had three. One of them did nothing. The second one we had do curls and triceps, and on the third one, they came in once a day, and we e-stemmed their bicep and tricep. And
Interesting.
did that for, I can't remember, 4 or 6 weeks or something. The only one that gained any hypertrophy, meaning muscle growth, was the person who lifted heavy things.
Sure.
Our control guy, his arm stayed about the same. And the guy with the E-stem. Now, folks, this is not a study. This is Vinnie
It's
screwing
like for homework. Yeah.
just to see what happens, right? Because we were all, Bruce Lee used to put these and do 10 million sit-ups a day. And while he was in movies, Bruce Lee would just put these E-stems on his stomach and get these abs. And Guthrie Ranker and everyone else
Oh, sure.
stimulating things to put around you, and it was supposed to give you abs and all this stuff. And I proved it in 1982 or 83 that you're not going to do anything by doing this. Now, so then you would say, well, Vin, why do you have an E-stem machine? The same reason every major athlete has one, because after you do hard efforts, the best way to relax is to get blood flowing and flushing out, some of the, not toxins, but, to get rid of the fluid, right?
Okay.
Get you ready. So if I did a hard effort on a Saturday on a bike for 10 or 12 hours, after I took a shower, I would hook my E-stem up to my quads and then literally fall asleep while it was shocking my legs. And then I flip over and put it on my ass and my hamstrings and do it there.
So what you're saying is there is reason for it post workout. There is zero reason for it during workout.
Right. So all the stuff you were saying, read some of the things it promises
It's
to do.
going to rejuvenate muscles,
Yes.
reduce fatigue, boost performance.
Yes. But not in a low quality stimulation from that. Not even a little bit. Right. You have to lay there and you have to have the stuff. You have to have a positive and a negative on the muscles you're working, because the positive and the negative have to, cause that muscle to contract and release, and you put it on potentiate and this and that and the whole thing. You put it on different programs, and it works like a charm if you're working your ass off to relax you.
Right.
That's it. It's a massage.
Counterproductive, or at very least counterintuitive, to wear it while you're working out.
Right. It's not going to do anything. You see, they take the inkling of a truth and go, okay, if we just, just like all this microdosing everybody's now. Oh, I'm microdosing ketamine. I'm microdosing heroin. I'm you knock yourself out.
You might.
It's all just, come on, folks. PT Ballman.
I'm so glad I brought this up because, again, I don't know enough about the subject. There was every chance in the world you would have been like, this is genius, and I'll tell you why. But of course, it's not genius. And like all this other nutrition stuff, it's something you figured out 40 years ago.
Yeah, look, I'll never forget, a few years ago, every triathlete was wearing these sleeves around their calves.
Yes. Yeah.
And the whole idea was, it rushes the blood back to your heart so it can oxygenate faster and get back to your muscles and the whole thing. And, the idea came from a truth, like when people are in the hospital and they're laid up for long periods, they're bedridden, they'll put these stockings on their legs.
Right.
The old people compressing their legs, because it does do that. It does help in those situations. It's not going to help you if you're a fucking triathlete running 26 miles after you rode a bike 110 because you swam 2.2 miles. It's not going to help you in those situations. You should have your muscles as free as possible to do the work.
I see.
But
if you're doing an international flight, by all means, put on some compression socks if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, if you want to do that. And as I told a buddy of mine, you go back to international flight right after this.
Okay.
As I told a buddy of mine, I said, is this sanctioned by WADA?
By WADA?
WADA. Those are the people that kept, they check people like Lance Armstrong in the off season. World
Gotcha.
Anti-Doping Association, WADA.
Ah.
Is it allowed by WADA? Yes, it is. Is it allowed by the Olympic Committee, IOC, International Olympic Committee?
Right.
Yes, it is. Okay, it doesn't work.
That's how you know it doesn't work.
If WADA and the IOC is going after it, you got something on your hands.
Right.
If WADA and the IOC give a shit about it, it ain't doing anything. Story.
That is such a great way to know whether you're working with something important or not.
Yeah. Just go. You don't have to read anything. People go, oh, I take the supplement and it's supposed to make me blah, blah, blah. Okay. Is it banned by WADA? No. Okay. I'm good. It ain't doing anything.
Cannot wait to start doing a deep dive into the things that I see, peddled on Instagram and see if they're banned by any athletic associations.
You know what is banned by WADA and IOC?
What?
Coffee.
That you've told me that. In fact, I believe
not regular amounts. So
no.
You have way too much coffee, which means you got caffeine through an
enema.
Through an enema. Then they can go, okay, we caught you with too much caffeine.
Right.
No one has ever been, but it's in place in case they need to use it.
And I figured that's just how you get your caffeine in the morning.
Yeah, I like to drink some and I like to shove some up my ass.
Yeah. I know how. Yeah, you love coffee.
Yeah, when you
can prove
coffee,
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I know we have to get out of here, but you did tell me to remind you international flight.
Okay. I remember back in the day, when I first started, back in the 80s, I first started flying and I was still a carb junkie.
Sure.
I had a rule. Because, I wear a lot of cowboy boots.
You do.
Yeah, I got a few pairs. Okay. If I got on a plane, the rule was I ain't taking those boots off. Okay. Because in my mind, if I'm flying, they tell you flying makes you swell up.
Right.
Right. And sure enough, I get on a plane. By the time I got there, I put my boots back on. I barely get them on.
Right.
Feet swell.
Right.
From the altitude, I thought, or whatever they would tell you, the compression of the cap.
Yeah.
No, it was all the shit you ate while you were on the plane that caused instant inflammation. Now, no problem. I get on the plane, past 20 years, I don't have to worry about it. I take my boots off. I could throw them around, do whatever I want, put them right back on. They fit exactly the same.
It's so funny. And thank you for that great reminder because, yeah, if, when some of us have that mindset of, hey, 30,000 feet doesn't count. Well, now you're treating yourself. You're eating stuff and drinking stuff that you normally wouldn't drink, like whatever they're passing around for free. You got honey roasted peanuts, you got chips, you got crackers, you got Coke. And did you know, I've read this, so, it must be true, that above a certain altitude, your taste buds change, your senses change. So you don't really smell the food as much. You don't taste as much. So from at least what I read, the little expose, they add lots of extra salt to airplane food because your taste buds don't really get the hit that they get when you're on the ground. So but by the time you get off, why wouldn't you need a cut man? I mean, you're so bloated.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I barely ever eat anything. People go, what about internationally? It's like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Whether I fly to the West Coast, which is about 5 hours, or if I go to Europe, which is about 6 hours, but I can't go 6 hours without a meal. I'm sitting there. I'm not burning energy.
That's right.
They might come by, I might grab a coffee and bring me some coffee. Yeah. The last trip to England, the woman goes, sir, you haven't had any of your meals. And I was in one of those little cubby things. Right?
Of course you were.
And she goes, I said, yeah, I'm good. She's like, would you like anything? Would you like some wine, some Prosecco? And then she shouldn't have said Prosecco because I went into a 5-minute diatribe of, I don't understand why anyone would ever drink that crap.
I don't like it. It's like, it's like alcoholic Mountain Dew.
It's the worst tasting thing. It's like, my people created that. And I'm ashamed to say I'm Italian.
I want to say they created it specifically for mimosas, but who knows?
I don't, and it's like, well, you haven't had any, and she's really concerned because
Yeah.
one non-problem on the whole flight. And a few minutes later, I got up to go to the bathroom, and she was standing in the gallery, and I said, you know what? Um, I see you got some Pellegrino there. I can really use some Pellegrino. And she said, take the whole bottle. And I went back to my thing. She goes, do you need a glass? And no, I do not. I chugged the whole bottle of Perrier of Pellegrino.
That's so funny. She's probably thinking the cost benefit analysis. You haven't touched your food, so you might as well have something.
Yeah, it's like who's this guy? Like everybody's trying to figure out what else they can get.
Right.
And this guy's, holding a hand up on everything. I'm good.
Yeah, well, everyone else is going. So is it just limited to one Sunday per customer, or can I have his if he's not going to have it?
Yeah, it's that Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I say it all the time. More anything, more everything.
Yeah, and he's sitting next to a supermodel or something.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And Elaine's back in with the plebes having the worst night of her life.
Yeah. So every now and then that happens to me, and it doesn't mean just because you have all I care about is that sleeper seat.
Yeah.
You can lean that bad boy back, take a nap, get there.
Only imagine.
Yeah. By the way, I only take that ticket on the way there. On the way back, I'm in the back.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice. And I've thought about this a few times. If I ever upgrade, it's going to the experience. On the way back, party's over. I don't care. So
back there with the chickens and
that's right. The crates, stand up seating,
dogs and people's laps and donkeys.
That's exactly right.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy.
Your support donkey.
Yeah. I'm making a joke, but it's not that far from the truth. All right, folks. Gina Grad has a book called My Extra Mom. Go get that. Man, I was a stepdad, and I wish that book was available because these kids, as it turns out, they don't come with an owner's manual.
No.
And it's not your kid to begin with. And Tallulah had a fabulous father, and we still get along. I spoke to Scott today.
That's amazing.
We're not even raising a daughter together anymore, but we do business together a little bit, me and Scott.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be weird.
Yeah.
Right?
And this book really helps everyone. It's pointers for the new parent. It's a bridge for the biological parent. It's to show the biological mom there's nothing to be threatened by. And it's for the kids. It's some great ideas. This is what you should expect from the new person in your family. Yeah. So I'm glad. Thank you for saying that. Available on Amazon, of course. Click through Vinnie's banner on his website to get it. And follow me at My Extra Family on Instagram.
By the time this comes out, everything is closed at vinnietortorich.com/VIP. You can put your name in for the next time we open it. That's about the best I can do for you. I'm on the Rumble. Go check it out. No, I'm not some political guy. Yeah, I know when you go on the Rumble, people go, "Oh, you're political." It's like, no,
far from it.
They just, I don't do politics. I'm just trying to help people. And it turns out that I was being censored on the other platforms. So if you want to find where I'm putting my best stuff, it's on X right now because they're not censoring. Mm. And they're also, and the Rumble, which they seem to be wide open also. Now, if they change,
you'll change
next month, I'm moving.
Yeah.
I don't owe any of these people anything. That's the way I'm working. It's the way I've done this from the beginning. I am not changing my message to make it fit into your category. Sorry. Not going to happen. Not in my lifetime. Yeah. So there you have it. I don't have any music or anything, and I'm running late. So on behalf of Gina Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with enthusiasm.